and I bought big. I bought about 100 ounces of silver. This is just 20 of them. And guys, I want to talk a little bit about market psychology, cycles, just precious metals, greed versus fear, when to buy, and when you do buy, how you should buy low and sell high. Precious metals are a safe haven, and how even Bitcoin and cryptos could be considered a safe haven and sort of a hedge. A hedge is something you look for as kind of like hedging your bets. You look for it as something that's not correlated. So like if you look at, for instance, Microsoft and Apple and all these computer products and technologies are all correlated together. They tend to all go up together. They tend to all go down together. Silver and gold can be kind of up and down and up and down. And that's kind of where we want to have hedges, and also how you don't want to just have everything all in these beautiful precious metals, even though I think that these are the ultimate safe haven for calamity, and I think they are a way to preserve wealth. But I think that you should really diversify, and you should get into things that are cash flowing, real estate, dividends, things like that. Let's get into this unboxing. Right here, it says it's from Scottsdale Parts. And I'll tell you what Scottsdale Parts are, and they try to, it's basically Scottsdale Mint, and they try to make it so that you don't know that there's precious metals. You don't want to say like Scottsdale Precious Metals, like right, in the front there. That would, they give you 2% back. Oh, this is cool. They're like, oh, they were like connected together, but they were like stuck together actually, maybe because of the packaging, but check out the beauty on those. Like, I mean, that almost looks like three-dimensional. I'm try to bring in the light a little more. See how the light plays on that? Almost looks like a hologram, but can anyone answer, is that just the way that these Scottsdales are poured? Like, or is that a machine finish right there? It's just so beautiful. Individually serial numbered, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out, is that just the way they're poured, or is that just the video? And just to show you guys how they stack together, it's a little beveled on the top and incused, I guess, on this side. So they just kind of stack together like that. And just as a comparison, I was busting out this Britannia. These are both 10-ounce bars, but just as a comparison, I want to show you, this one looks a lot bigger, but it is a lot thinner. So these stackers are pretty chunky, pretty hefty in size. So the weight is the same. They're both 10 troy ounces. This is from the British Mint, the Royal Mint. And just as a comparison, this is a 10-ounce poured bar, or 5-ounce poured bar, sorry. Silvertown. Looks about half and half, right? Sometimes I bust out the weight just to double check, but yeah, let's go, as I play with these, let's go back to what I was talking about. Is market's all about fear, greed, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because people's ultimate goals in life, usually the most stress that they get as well as goals, have to do with something about money, about finances. We're in a capitalistic society, and every socialist, or, wow, this is freaking heavy, guys. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how 50 ounces feel. Wow, this, I could just like lift weights right here. But anyways, what was I saying? I was talking about fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD, and just how finances can really be, because without finances we can't have freedoms, so like it's very important to kind of plan yourself out. That's why I go over so much financial planning, even though I'm not a financial planner, and I have to say this because I don't want to get sued, anybody, but you really have to do your own due diligence and plan for yourself and make your own decisions. But the reason why I invest in gold, silver, and precious metals is because They are just a way to preserve your wealth outside of the system. So a lot of people, they don't understand precious metals. There's a sentiment now, and I think there's a fear when it comes to precious metals, that especially like silver, they think that this is almost a commodity and no longer has its value. And it's been going down for a while, guys. It's not the time to sell silver. Silver is an ultimate fear right now, and you want to buy when there's fear, when there's greed, when people won't stop shilling silver. I know that a lot of people on YouTube, because we're part of the silver community, they talk about how great silver is and stuff, but if you go to the common person, the common investor, the average Joe is just going to tell you, don't buy. It's a terrible time to buy. It's really raked in the muck, in the mud, and that's when you should be buying. And I'm not saying it's going to go up right away. It could continue to go down for a year or two, but now's the time to accumulate silver. Now's the time to accumulate precious metals, because they are not looked at in the same way that they were 30 years ago as real money, but by a lot of people. But when things happen like monetary crises, like what's happening in Venezuela, when we get into hyperinflation, when the central banks are printing too much and it's unsustainable and there is a stock market crash, people go running towards the shiny yellow and white metals. And right now, both silver and platinum are especially looked at as, terrible investments, or like looked at in such a negative way that I think now is actually the time to be against the grain, against all of what the lemmings are telling you. And it is just a great way. It's a great thing to do, is to hedge with these. And the reason why I buy physicals is if there's a complete collapse, then, it's good to just have this just in case, as like a prepper, as a financial prepper. You're just ready for it. But right now the sentiment's low because the stock market's been doing well for so many years. It's, ETFs are looked at as being great ways to, make money. I still have a lot in ETFs. I have of my investments, a good portion of them in ETFs, S&P 500, emerging markets, things like that. But I do hedge with these, and I do have other things like real estate. I think the general gold sentiment is also, very low. People they don't see this in the way that they used to. They think that this is not really going to beat the S&P 500. But when the S&P 500 tanks, which it will, because everybody knows there's a time when it tanks, and guys like even Warren Buffett, who are always pumping the S&P 500 and blue chip stocks, he's even holding a lot of cash. So do as what they say and not as they do. The reason why he's holding all that cash is because he is waiting for things to be on sale. He's always trying to buy, and I'm always trying to buy, just like I'm always trying to buy real estate. Right now, real estate is super expensive, so I'm not really a major buyer of real estate unless I find a really good deal. But when I can't find deals, guess what I do? I hoard cash, and I put my money into other stores of value like silver, gold, precious metals, that when there is a crash, it's a safe haven where people go, and it will go up during those times. But be careful, guys, because this is a financial investment, and don't overdo it. Do your research. Look up books by Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, Mike Bogle from Vanguard. Look at Warren Buffett. Look at Ray Dalio, Jim Rogers, Mike Maloney, and other metals people, but also into people who do stocks and ETFs. And Warren Buffett's one of the most successful investors ever, and he doesn't say nice things about gold, but he actually does hedge, and he hedges with cash. And you can hedge with cash, or you could hedge with gold. There's different ways to hedge, because when stocks go down, cash is one of the best things to hold, but also gold is one of the best things to hold, because this is it's not correlated to stocks, and it's not completely correlated to the stock market. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to shout that out, say that all right now, and showcase these Scottsdale silver bars. These are perfect for a stacker who just wants to stack a lot of weight and just ride it, because right now the ratio is 90 to 1, so 92 to 1, so 92 ounces of silver equals just 1 ounce of gold. And usually that ratio is about 30 to 1 or 22 to 1 or even 40 to 1. But when that ratio is so high, when it's 92 ounces of silver for just 1 ounce of gold, there's a huge discrepancy in these two precious metals, these two stores of value and money. So it's a great time to buy silver. Also, it's a good time to buy gold too, as a hedge against calamity, and as a store of wealth, and as money, and as a hedge against monetary collapse, and against stock collapse, and all these other things. So anyways, guys, stay safe, invest in precious metals, but also do what's right for you, do what's right for your age. Do a lot of research, learn about this stuff. There's plenty of free stuff out there. And then don't be a part of this market cycle of fear, uncertainty, doubt, greed, all that stuff. Don't be too scared also, because if you get too scared, you don't make the right decisions. Human psychology makes people buy high and sell low. So the next time everybody's talking about silver, talking about how great silver is, when you hear like the newspaper boy or somebody at your hair salon talking about how it's time to buy silver and gold, that is when you get out. That's when you sell. And don't sell everything. Usually I try to just sell like a third of my position in anything when it gets too high. Last time when Bitcoin was too high, I probably should have sold a lot. I didn't. I got greedy and I lost a lot of money in Bitcoin. Anyways, guys, happy stacking.
Smash that like button and subscribe.